Hey subscribers! So my name is Jim and
I'm Alisa.
we are here from Munchin' with Michael. For our next episode, we've got a real treat in store for all of you guys at home. We were inspired recently by a trip to the local farmer's market in which we had some empanadas, and we got to thinking maybe we should make our own. So fortunately, earlier this week, I smoked my first brisket and we had loads of leftovers. So I decided we could probably use that. And then also, we stuffed them with some mashed potatoes, which actually comes from Alisa's background in dumpling type things. But it wound up being just a big mishmash. And so we're gonna call them, what do we call them? We'll call them
Brisket empanadas, chopped brisket empanadas.
So today we have for you chopped brisket empanadas. Stay tuned.
Okay, so we are gonna prepare our mashed potatoes for our empanadas right now. I have 4 russet potatoes that are ready to go. They're washed, they're peeled, they're cut up. I'm gonna add some salt and pepper and some garlic. I'm gonna start with the taters. You're just gonna add them to your Instant Pot or preferred cooking method. Then I am just going to add like a teaspoon of garlic and then salt and pepper to taste. And then you just want to have some water available and fill it up until it covers the taters. Okay, so we're gonna put the lid on. And we are just going to set our Instant Pot for 8 minutes. I don't know why it's set for an hour.
Made some stock. Takes a long time.
Ah, perfect. And then we are just going to let it do its thing.
All right, so we've got some leftover brisket that's been sitting in the fridge for a couple days. That's what we're going to use as our meat for the filler. So I went ahead and pulled it out and just diced it up real quick. So what we're going to do is just get it on some heat and warm it up a little bit. Let some of that fat render out, which we're going to use to cook up our onions. Basically just warm it up and get it ready. So this is going to go in here. All right, it's been just a couple minutes. This is looking real warmed up, real nice. Got some excellent color to it. So we're just going to set this aside. And once we get this out, we are going to add some red onion that we have cooked up here, or cut up here, and then we're going to cook that down alongside some garlic. All right, so now that we've let these guys cook down a little bit, what we're going to do is we're going to add half of our brisket back into here, because we are doing our empanadas 2 ways today. I think that looks about half. Does that look good?
Yeah, that's fine.
I think so. And then what we're doing for this one is we're going to do this one as a barbecue filling. So I'm going to bring the heat down a little bit. And what we're going to do is we're just going to toss this in some barbecue sauce. So whatever barbecue sauce you have laying around, we're going to add approximately this much. And then some salt and pepper. And then I'm going to add just a little bit of hot sauce, just a couple dabs, just to give it a little extra.
Not in the shot, just so you know.
All right, a little bit of hot sauce, so we'll go ahead and mix this up. Once it's mixed up, we'll let it hang out for a little bit, and then we'll put it off to the side and let it hang out while we're working on some other stuff.
Okay, so our Instant Pot has gone off. We are going to We already vented it. We're gonna open it up real quick and get going. So here are our taters. And then we're just gonna put these bad boys back in here. And I'm just gonna start mashing. And then after we've mashed those a little bit, we are gonna add some coconut milk. Make them a little bit more creamy. A little bit of butter. And some more salt and pepper. And we'll just let everybody get to know each other in the pot. All right, so what I did is I just started to mix my brisket in with some of my mashed potatoes, and I have some of my chopped up green onion here, courtesy of Jim, and I'm just going to mix that in.
All right, so for our empanada dough, originally we were gonna make our own, and then
But ain't nobody got time for that.
yeah, time got away from us for a little bit. So we were gonna go to the grocery store and get some pre-made empanada rolls that we saw, but they were all sold out. So we decided to get a little bit creative. So what we did is we picked up a couple of these Pillsbury crescent rolls, and that's what we're gonna attempt to use.
Yeah.
So that's what we're gonna do. This one's actually picky eater approved, so I think it's gonna be really good.
Okay, so what I've already done, I've already opened one up, and since they're crescent rolls, I don't know, there we go. They're already kind of rolled out, but I need a circular shape for this, so what I did is I just kind of started mashing and kneading them together. To prep your surface before you start, what I would recommend doing is just sprinkling some flour so it doesn't get stuck to whatever surface you are using. So we'll just do that. Okay. So I'm just going to start with one of these at a time, and I'm just basically just going to kind of knead this together. Okay, so I rolled out a little piece of dough. If I was really bougie about this, I would want to kind of get something as a circle and cut it, but for time's sake, what we did is we added some cheddar cheese to our mixture, and I am just going to put this bad boy in the dough. And then what I'm going to do is I am just going to flip that over. And then I'm just going to push this dough together. And if you have pieces that are a little bit bigger, you can kind of just roll them inside there. And then there's two techniques to this. I'm going to use the one where you kind of roll the edges together and pinch them. But if you wanted to take a fork and flatten them afterwards, you could do that as well. I'm just going to pinch mine. And there we go. We have our empanada. Okay, so we made some empanadas here. What I've done to kind of top them off before we're putting them in the oven is just created a little bit of egg wash. I put 2 egg yolks in there. Just beat them up a little bit. I have my brush here, and I am just going to brush the tops of these guys and get them ready to go for the oven. So it's been about 20 minutes. We're gonna check on these empanadas. Hopefully they are good to go. Oh yeah, they're nice and crispy. So we're gonna go ahead and take those guys out of the oven. They have a nice brown color to them. That's what we were looking for.
One of them's splitting a little bit.
Some of them are splitting, but you know, this was our first go around and it can only get better from here.
So here we are with our empanadas. We're digging in right now. I think that they're really good. I think they turned out well. They're definitely a little more puff pastry than traditional empanada, but that makes sense because that's what we made. But on the whole, they're really good. That it?
That is it, yeah.
So if you ever feel like making empanadas, you can try it out this way, or you can also get creative if you want and do whatever you want. So from Luncheon with Michael, I'm Jim.
And I'm Alyssa.
Keep eating good.